This is L No Sports Talk Saints edition, and I'm just going to just get it out there, man. These guys are some of our local sports reporters. They do a lot of high school, college, and especially I just look at their Saints content because I'm a Saints fan. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, so that's my team. And I look at a lot of the local channels since I'm not in New Orleans anymore. You know, I follow the local guys just to get a beat on what they're feeling. And sometimes I feel like me not being in the city, I have a better grasp on what's going on than guys that are actually there. And that's just annoying to me because I think with these two guys, I've noticed that it's almost like they become parasocial to their own thinking. And because they put certain narratives out there that they got to keep it up, instead of just falling on the sword and say, okay, maybe we were wrong, okay? And here's my take. My take is with Spencer Rattler. They're going to say some things about Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shook, which I think right now we shouldn't even be talking about Tyler Shook in week 3 of a brand new season with a brand new head coach and a brand new quarterback. That's crazy. That's like if the Titans right now were talking about their backup quarterback coming in for Cam Ward, the entire Tennessee would lift itself off of the map and throw itself in the Pacific Ocean. I don't know how far that is from Tennessee. I'm pretty sure it's very far because it's Midwest. But anyway, I couldn't think of another analogy. But that's what we're doing. It's almost like these guys think that Rattler is a veteran. You don't realize that when a coach took the opportunity to allow these guys to go through training camp, preseason, and to go through a challenge, a quarterback challenge to become the starter, they understood that, okay, one of these guys, they're both young, so whoever it is, I'm going to have to put my all into. I can't put you in for 4 games and say, hey, okay, your career's over now. That's not how it works, guys. I know you're a parasocial and you like Shook. I don't know where this fascination with Tyler Shook is coming at. I just don't get it. There's the Nick Underhills of the world that are the same way. It's almost like you're not listening to what Kellen Moore is telling you. He has a 24-year-old young quarterback with 3 starts under his name, under his regime. He's not going to take him out just because you're like, hey, I want to see what Tyler Shook can do. That's not how football works, guys. And I'm just going to let them talk, and I'm going to do some more commentary. But they really annoy me. They really do.
Up in Buffalo as Kellen Moore tries to get his first win as a head coach, and maybe even more importantly, Spencer Rattler continues to look for his first win in the NFL. So far, he's 0-9 as a starter, 0-10 in the games he's played. And Sean, that's what we got to talk about today. You know, a fan favorite, the Rat Pack's king, and right now we're in a place, I mentioned it earlier, Spencer Rattler has yet to win a game in his career, and the questions are already coming for Kellen Moore when it comes to, you know, when might Tyler Shook get an opportunity? So the big picture today revolves around, could Sunday, the game against the Buffalo Bills, be the...
Okay, here's my thing with that. Okay, he said that he said Spencer Rattler's 0-9 and he's 0-10 in games he's played. Now look at the narrative he's trying to point there. He's trying to point to the fact that we're counting last year, a year where the entire team was hurt. And the guy was thrown in because basically there was no one else that could play. Like we tried Jake Hayner, and he just looked like he didn't even belong on the football field. And if you notice, when Coach Moore was asked, when does your win-loss clock start for Spencer Rattler? And he was like, because we know that he lost 6 games last year. So are you counting that? And Moore said out of his own mouth, and I'm going to add it to this video, he said, I was not a part of the team last year.
The Spencer question. Yeah. Is it tough to reconcile the fact that winning and losing is the most important thing, but you're talking about a young person at a very important position that you want to develop? So you do have to maybe, I don't say grade it on a curve, but wrestle with it a little bit.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all, the win-loss is what we're ultimately graded on, and certainly, coaching and quarterbacks tend to, carry that record very strongly, and so that's just the way this thing works. We all get it. I think Spence has done a lot of good. I think, he's heading in the right direction. I think, there's a lot of other factors in that game that, we got to clean up and put ourselves in better position, and so, it's frustrating because Spence hasn't been able to get a win in this league, and he's earned it, and he deserves it, and he's done so so much good. And so, we got to all rally together, focus on our individual task, and we'll get that thing done sooner rather than later.
Where does the win-loss clock for him start for you as a part of that evaluation? Like, do you consider from last year, or do you really start it from there?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a part of last year. I think,
I don't really care what happened last year. I'm dealing with what we're dealing with now. And we had 3 games with the Saints, the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. We were not favored in either of those games. 2 of those games we should have won, and the only reason why we didn't win is because we don't have the horses in the barn. We don't have the team that's competitive enough. We lost the Seattle game not due to the quarterback play, but due to our special teams and defense. And we got to start acknowledging that we just don't have it. But just trying to paint that, oh, he's 0-10 on, you're doing that on purpose because you know that in all reality that there's not a coach in the world that's going to take last year and attribute it to this year, because I believe as a coach that I'm giving you my tools this year and you should be better under me, because that's why I'm a head coach, because I believe I'm better than the last coach. But anyway.
Last game that Spencer Rattler starts in black and gold.
Yeah, I wanted to go here today. First off, happy Friday to everyone. I wanted to go here today I was at Kellen Moore's press conference Wednesday. And it's not that I didn't expect Spencer Rattler questions, but the way they were framed they were coming, like, it was a lot of stuff we have been talking about on this podcast. It just hadn't really been phrased that way to Kellen Moore, at least this quickly. And I thought maybe it arrived fairly quick in the season, which is part of the dilemma, the conundrum that they find themselves in with the quarterback competition and with the way they decided to go things. You knew this was going to come. We all knew eventually QB questions were going to come up, especially with Spencer Rattler, just based off the competition and obviously.
Now that's fair. There should be questions regarding the quarterback. That's fair. I'm not in disagreement with that. My disagreement is just that you're expecting basically like a rookie. He's not a rookie in as far as years, but as far as snaps, he's only had 10 games played. You're expecting this guy to come in and play as if he's been playing for 13 years. See, I think we as Saints fans and the fans that I'm talking about are the fans that we've been spoiled with Drew Brees and with the mantle of Sean Payton, able to take any quarterback and make him look good. Sean Payton put Jameis Winston at quarterback, and Jameis Winston went 5-2. Sean Payton put Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback, and Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0. Sean Payton put Taysom Hill at quarterback, and Taysom Hill went what, 4-2, 5-2, one of those. So Sean Payton was able to take the quarterbacks off the bench, install his scheme, and still get victories before injuries. We don't have that anymore, and you guys are expecting that any other coach can do. That's Sean Payton. He made Bo Nix look like a great pick. Like, Bo Nix is garbage right now. If you look at all of the numbers, all the PFF grades, the EPA grades, all of the analytics that put out their stats, if you look what Bo Nix is always at the back. He's not a good quarterback. Sean Payton made him look good last year, and I'm pretty sure it's going to even out this year, and Sean Payton's going to make him look better this year. So what we're trying to get you guys to understand is that, yes, Rattler's not winning games, but there's not a game we've played this year that you can say, man, the quarterback was terrible. And I'm going to fast forward this because this video is going to get long. But in this video, and I'm not going to do too much more of them, because they're annoying me now, because I know what they're doing. They're pitching this idea out there with the media, and the media is even starting to do it more and more because they want to try to get it out there. This fascination with Tyler Shuck is annoying to me. He's not really that good, and y'all got to let him develop. Throughout this video, Andrew's going to talk about comparing Spencer Rattler to DeShone Kizer, who started 15 games, was 0-15. And he was acting as if that, okay, DeShone Kizer and Spencer Rattler were like the same, like peas in a pod. But that's when this when you know there's a narrative there, because I'm going to put these stats in this video as well. DeShone Kizer played 15 games. And in those 15 games, he had, 11 touchdowns and 24 interceptions. He was passing for under 60% passing completion percentage. His rating was in the low 50s. Like, you cannot compare that to Spencer Rattler, who this year had 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, passing high 60% completion rating, over almost 90% QBR rating. See, that's the numbers I'm trying to get you to understand, that these guys are they're putting narratives out there that's not really true. they're trying to fabricate things because they have a fascination with Tyler Shuck. And I hope Tyler Shuck becomes an amazing quarterback. But right now, we have to be real and just say that Spencer beat him out in the challenge, and we got to give him an opportunity to find out what he is. Now, here's how I'm going to close this thing. When you have a young quarterback who's 24 years old, who has phenomenal gifts and talent that your coach may see something in, you cannot see if he's great or if he's a part of the future in 4 games. You just can't. There's no way you're going to look at me in 4 games and say, I think you're a part of this future, or I think you're not a part of this future. You have to get him in all scenarios. So the first game against Arizona, we played a defense that played pretty much 2 high safety, 3 high at times where we were going underneath. All of our receivers who's supposed to be fast have not been showing fast. If you looked at where he go on his go routes and he's not getting by defenders. So I don't know if him bulking up caused him to lose some speed or was it the injury from last year. But he doesn't look the same. So we have to understand we don't have a number 1 receiver on this team, and you're trying to judge a quarterback. So I don't want Tyler Shuck to fail, but in my pettiness, I want them to put Tyler Shuck in the game so you guys can see the inexperience of a young quarterback with less talent, because this team is not as talented as we would want it to be, as we thought it was. Because as long as Chris Olave is our number 1, we're going to be in trouble. He's a great talent, and I believe that with everything in my heart, but I don't believe he's a number 1 receiver. That's why he can have 13, 14 targets and not even break 70 yards receiving. He's not a number 1. If you look at Marvin Harrison Jr. and you look at all these other guys, who Marvin Harrison is getting a bus called to it right now, but look at Gary Wilson, look at Jet, look at Chase. You look at those guys who are number 1s, that they get 100 yards just by stepping on the field. So we got to get over this. Like, Spencer Rattler's going to get his opportunity. I think in Buffalo, he can't have a 3-4 interception game. And this is where all the haters going to have. They're going to have their room now. You can't go out there and give me 3 interceptions. You got to go out there and give me a steady game. Whether or not we beat Buffalo or not is like, because this is the thing. If we beat Buffalo and Spencer have a bad game, they're still going to call for his head. He got to go out there and manage the game properly, play correct, play mistake-free football, and do some things that we haven't seen him done. So if he does that, then I think that's going to be fair for him. But it just depends on if that works or not. So we're going to see. I'm expecting to win. I'm not sure how, but I'm not gonna pick against my Saints. But we just got to look into that and understand that this is sports, man. This is not fairy tale. This is not Madden football where you could just be emotionally driven by a move and just make a move. No, this is sports, man. And the coach understands that if we keep losing, it falls on him as well. So you got to understand he knows what he's doing at this moment, and we're going to go with it that way. But as far as the Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, I think Spencer Rattler has to go in the Buffalo, control the game, and leave out there with more touchdowns than turnovers. Win or lose, you got to leave out there with more touchdowns than turnovers to keep them off your neck, or at least to keep them being on your neck to have effect, because it won't have effect because they're going to be on your neck anyway. And then that Giants game when it's Spencer Rattler against Jackson Dart, you got to go out there and be the better quarterback on the field. And that's going to determine whether or not your job is extended. Okay, I'm out.